Hey there, quick thing before we dive in. If you are a coach, a creative, or a storyteller who wants to show up like your fave self, either online, on stage, or even just on Insta stories, I created something just for you you're going to absolutely love. It is called Voice and Vibes, and it's a 90-minute one-on-one power session with me to help you feel more like yourself whenever and wherever you speak. These are just cozy conversations between you and I. We're going to get clear on your message, help you align your energy, and get you showing up in a way that feels right and feels like you. So if you're going to be prepping for a post or maybe a big client pitch or a full-blown presentation, we're going to get your words flowing and get your confidence really, really grounded. I've got the link for you in the show notes if you'd like to go ahead and book your session. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Hey there, and welcome back to the Fave Self CEO podcast. I am your host, Kayla Evans, and I'm taking a bit of a quick break right now in between going and having coffee with my dad up in Gimli. Flatlanders coffee roasters. Oh my gosh, so good. And then in just a little bit, Mom and I are going to head to Costco. So I've got this little window here that I wanted to jump in and quickly get a podcast going because I've had this idea kind of percolating in my brain all week, ever since last week when I talked about all the running around that I've been doing. You know, I'm emceeing a ton of events. I've been giving a ton of talks. I've been hosting my workshops. I've been doing all the things, you know, hanging out with my family, obviously. And last week, actually the last couple weeks, I have talked on the podcast and then wrote about over on my Substack blog about how to not be so hard on yourself and how to either let others help you or to help yourself through your self-care non-negotiables. But that's kind of been triggering this idea in my mind that I've been so busy and a lot of it's been speaking that I thought today I would talk about pre-speaking routines, you know, some little rituals that really get me ready to walk out in front of hundreds and, you know, sometimes thousands of people and actually enjoy it. And because I always like to share like what I'm going through, what's going on like really timely in my life, partly because yes, absolutely, I hope it helps you, but also because honestly, like writing it out and talking it out like this is incredibly therapeutic for me. So I just want to give you a peek behind the curtain today. Now, I know listening to this, most of us are not about to walk out at an NHL game and speak in front of, you know, thousands and thousands of screaming, excited hockey fans. But that doesn't matter. Nerves are nerves, and they can show up in the same way for a lot of us, right? Your stomach starts doing flip-flops, you know, bubbling, maybe like you ate something questionable. Your heart starts racing. You get really sweaty. Maybe your brain goes completely blank, you know, whether you're, you know, hitting go live on Instagram, maybe you're going to pitch a really big client. Maybe you're even asking someone out. If you've ever felt that mix of excitement, I want to do this thing, but it still feels incredibly terrifying at the same time, you know exactly what I mean. And these thoughts like, oh gosh, like why the heck did I even say yes to this? Like we're all in good company. We all get those thoughts from time to time, regardless of what we are doing. So I'm going to be diving into some tips today. And also, if you want the long form, kind of absolutely everything that I do, you can go ahead to my Substack. It'll be the blog post there, which is coming out on Tuesday. I'll link it in the show notes. But here, I'm going to share just a few of my go-tos that always help me settle in. Because even after 20 plus years of speaking for a living, I still get nervous at times. I still do these things to make sure I come from a really grounded, steady, confident place so that I can enjoy being out there in front of people and that I can actually perform at my highest level. So first up, right off the bat, it's going to be your breath, right? We all breathe. Most of us don't even think about it for the most part, but it is the foundation of everything when you are presenting or speaking or pitching or being in a meeting, like whatever it is, your breath is really your foundation. And if your heart's racing and you can't remember how to breathe like a normal human, you're not alone, but you can try something really simple like box breathing. Box breathing is hands down my go-to. I teach it to all my clients. It is super effective. You simply inhale for 4 counts. You're going to hold that breath at the top for 4. You're going to exhale for 4 seconds, and then you're going to hold at the bottom of that breath for 4 before you inhale for 4, hold, exhale, hold again. Just do that for a couple minutes, and your whole system is going to chill out. Your blood pressure is going to drop. Your heart rate's going to slow down. The shakes and the nerves are going to become a lot more controllable for you. And you can even whisper little things to yourself like, You're fine. You're breathing. You've got this, either out loud or in your head. Does it look weird? Maybe. Does it work? Absolutely. So getting your breath under control, it affects everything. The pace of your talking, how you sound, the range of your voice, the power behind your voice. It's everything. Your breath is truly your foundation. Now, the second thing would be movement. Shake it off, literally. Like actually shake off those nerves. I want you to start moving to get that anxious energy out. Now, you don't have to be like the best dancer in the world. Absolutely not. I have danced in bathroom stalls. I have danced in my car in the parkade at the venue. I've bounced around backstage waiting to go on, like in heels, in my Spanx, going out to MC a gala. Like I have literally been shaking it off in the wings before I go out on stage. Sometimes awkward, yes, if you're in the bathroom and someone walks in. But you know what? It works. And I feel like you have to do what you have to do to get yourself centered. Anxiety is an energy. And if you can channel that energy into something else, you're going to feel better almost instantly. So get moving. And that kind of ties into the third thing I want to point to, which is music. Like nothing shifts your energy faster than the right playlist, the right song. So good. Music is so powerful. And back when I worked in TV, one of my favorite videographers used to blast music while we set up, and it kind of became our thing. And to this day, turning on one of my fave songs is the fastest way to get myself out of my head and back into my body. I find, and it's been my experience with my clients, that it's damn near impossible to feel terrified when your favorite song is blasting, even in your headphones, even to yourself, even in your car, again, before you walk into the office or before you walk into the venue. Why do you think so many athletes listen to music? You know, they're doing the in-game walk or whatever it's called, and they have their big headphones on. That's why music is everything. And I'm also going to say this. I obviously am big on mantras, affirmations, so many of us are. But lately, what I've been doing is actually using song lyrics instead. So September, it's been just this wild month of stages for me. So from Welcome to New York, like Taylor Swift's Welcome to New York, that line, the lights are so bright, but they never blind me. That has been on repeat in my mind. Like that is my mantra because honestly, it works. It works for me. Every time I sing it out loud or in my head, it's like a reminder to me that no matter how big the stage is, like I was made for this and the nerves are not going to stop me. Not that I think I'm Taylor Swift level, but you know what? I want to kind of channel that Taylor Swift energy and that Taylor Swift confidence. So the lights are so bright, but they never blind me from Welcome to New York. That is like my mantra for the month of September to get through the gauntlet. And whether it is, a Pinterest mantra or affirmation that you find on your Pinterest or your fave lyric, I just want you to find words that make you feel unstoppable and then run them on repeat. And I'm going to give one last little one because this is kind of a funny one. It's a little bit unconventional, but I swear by it. And that's to chew gum. Yeah, like bubble gum. Chewing gum, there's studies on this. It actually can trick your body into thinking you're safe because our caveman brains are like, oh, we're eating, we're chewing. That must mean there's no, saber-tooth tigers around chasing us. Cool, we're fine. And a little extra bonus is that if it's minty gum, it can actually act to settle your stomach a little bit too if you've got those bubbling guts. So gum is a fun one. I absolutely love it. The one thing I will say though is don't overdo it. Like don't chew for a crazy long amount of time or like a super big wad of gum that you're taking in a lot of air, because when you chew gum, you do bring in a lot of air and you do not want to burp your way through a presentation. Trust me. This is a proceed with caution, but it's a fun one that can go a long way to helping you. And really above like all of that, of all the tips I've given you today, the most important part is just remembering why you're there, right? You're there to help, to share, to inspire, to connect. You're there for a reason. So really lean into that. You wouldn't be pitching. You wouldn't be, going live on something that you're passionate about. You wouldn't be giving a presentation or speaking at a meeting if you weren't meant to be there. You're meant to be there right where you are. So just take comfort in that fact. And I know I keep saying one last thing, but I will give like one last thing here. The nerves are usually the worst right before you start. Once you're a couple minutes in, you start to feel that release, you get in the flow. So if you know your intro really, really well, I tell people to memorize it. in and out with your eyes closed, memorize your intro. Because once you nail that first part, the rest just flows and then you can really, really get into it. So those are most of the little tidbits of advice I want to give you right now. Again, there's more over on my Substack that's linked in the show notes. Get your breath under control, number one. Number two, move, get that anxious energy out. Number three, music, get something to really put you in that high vibe state. And then some bonuses, pick a mantra, especially a song lyric that makes you feel so freaking unstoppable. Have some mint gum. If you think, you can handle it and you're not going to be too gassy about it. And then lastly, just give yourself a little pep talk, right? Remind yourself why you're there. You're there to help people, share your knowledge, be generous, inspire, make somebody's life easier or better. That's what you're there for. And like I said, after 20 plus years of speaking for a living, I can tell you, the most natural, confident speakers, we're not fearless. We're just prepared. We have rituals, we practice. And that's the good news because it means that you can learn to be one of us too, right? And again, if you want the full list of my confidence boosting pre-speaking tips, all of that is in this week's Substack coming out on Tuesday, link in the show notes. And then if you're craving more tailored support, I've got some coaching options open as well right now. I will put the link in the show notes. But overall, next time you're going to speak up, whether it's in a boardroom, Instagram Live, you're going on a stage, I want you to try one of these to start with for sure. Breath would be the easiest one. And then add on and see what works best for you. Breathe, move, blast your favorite song, sing that song lyric in your head, chew the gum, give yourself that pep talk. Do what you need to do and then go do the thing. Because trust me, you are way more prepared and way more capable than you think you are. So with that, thanks as always so much for hanging out with me today on the Fave Self CEO podcast. And until next time, go out there and be your fave self.